always say that brows need to be sisters, not twins. Well, I don't know, sometimes I have one that's the weird cousin, you know? Well, hello my lovely nestlings and welcome to another Get Ready With Me. I have some, well, I think that technically they're all old things, basically like me. I've never used most of these, but so they're new for me. Let's just go with that. Also, I hope my sound is okay because I have a new microphone and it's a very, very fancy one. It's one of those clip-ons, you know, one of those remote ones that you clip on your pants. Never mind, it doesn't matter. I just hope that the sound is right. And if you are new, welcome. My name is Nikki. I'm 45, almost 46, from the Netherlands, hence the accent. And if you love makeup just as much as I do, although I have to say eyeshadows are my passion. I do also love to try out foundations though, especially because I am slightly orcish, that means a warm olive. I find it very interesting to try foundations, and I know that it can help out a lot of you guys as well. So if you like content like that, if you want to see me smear stuff on the face, if you want to hear me bash makeup, because I like to do that as well, then this is the channel for you. Subscribe now, become part of my nestlings, because we are having a blast here on the internet and I upload between 3 to 4 videos a week. Yes. Okay, so you see the naked face, right? Let me clean my hands because I have been swatching as I usually do. Because I don't know how the sound quality is, I am going to basically play with makeup that I already have in my collection for quite some time, that I'm forming an opinion on, but I also have some new things. And I have my big coffee mug that I got at Halloween because it's a big coffee mug and it's Halloween. I know. Anyway, the eyeshadow palette I'm going to play with today is finally I'm going to try Dede Signature. She sent me the entire skewer collection. It arrived last year around Halloween, I believe, that time of year, but I just haven't had the time to play with it yet. So I'm going to play with the exotic skewer at least today. So here it is. You have seen it floating around online. But I'm going to try it today. I also have the juicy skewer here. The other two I actually decluttered because I'm not going to use those. So here is the other one, and maybe I will pull this one in. I kind of have a look in mind, so we will see. I also have two things from Postal. Basically, what is this? The tinted peach pink balm, and actually one of you commented underneath a video that they were amazing, that I need to try them out. They came to store here, so I was like, if I don't like it on my cheeks, at least I know that I will kind of like this color on my lips. So I got the peachy one, but I also got the shimmer balm. So we are going to try those. I am going to use my Charlotte Tilbury foundation because I'm still kind of testing that out, and I will show you kind of how I do my brows because I got a question about that as well. Yes, so yeah, I have stuff to try. That's basically the Lord. I hope that the sound is okay. You can go there. When I tried the microphone, I still had the this thingy on, you know, that one, and the sound was very, very nice, but it felt like it was very muted, like I was talking like that, and I don't like that. So yeah, usually I start with foundation, so let's do that as well. I have found though that I like the Charlotte foundation best just on my face. So what have I already done? I have already done my skincare and my sunscreen. And I'm going to apply the foundation. I kind of can do it in separate. I kind of like to apply it with my fingers a bit and then, you know, go over it with a sponge or something, but I need to make sure that my fingers aren't green anymore because that's not really nice, right? So yeah, I don't know, I kind of like applying foundation with my fingers lately, and I find that this one lends itself well for that because it is emollient enough, for me at least. Now, my skin type is normal, can get dehydrated if I don't drink enough, and especially in winter. And I have, what do I have? Well, I'm 46, no, almost 46. I have lines, I have hyperpigmentation, I have rosacea. Apparently mosquitoes found me, so I also have a few of those. But honestly, if I have truly a pimple, I don't have a lot of those, but if I do, I usually turn it into a freckle or a beauty mark, you know? Be a little bit extra. So I have tried this one with a primer underneath. I did not like it at all. The primer I used underneath was from Fenty, and I usually love that primer, but not underneath this foundation. Now I also tried it out with different powders. I tried it out with her own powder, and I actually like that combination of at least the powders that I have the best. However, I have her medium, and that oxidizes the foundation a lot. So I have the fair on the way. I do really like her powder, and now that I know that it kind of oxidizes the foundation, I can play with that as well. And my shirt, it's actually a very long blouse, and it has pockets, and that's from H&M. It's very long though. It is, and I'm not very tall. I'm 1 meters and 63 centimeters, and it is 5'4" if I am not mistaken, and it hangs on my calves, so it's a pretty long dress. The only thing though is I kind of did this because I feel more comfortable if it is a little bit more open here. Yeah, I don't know if you care. Oh, and if you hear anything, my washing machine is on, and it's in centrifugal mode right now. I do feel that I can really nicely build this up, especially with my fingers. And as you see, I just step it on where I need it. I don't mind that this is a medium coverage. I actually don't mind it at all. I love the finish of this. And sometimes I just go over it with a dry sponge. I can also apply it with a sponge. I don't know, I just prefer it applying it with my fingers. Let's get a... Do I have a olive concealer? Let's get this one from Rare Beauty. That's okay. I like. It's one of the few things that I like from the brand, the concealer. Oh yes, and let's make some juicy lips. Honestly, the word juicy, it should only be used for fruit. Like moist. Moist should only be used for cake. I will fight you on that. I don't want juicy lips. It's just, I don't know why, but it is so off-putting to me. This is just a dry sponge. I don't mind that too much. I actually find that if the sponge is dry, especially these from AOS Studio, they still work nicely, and sometimes even better than a wet sponge. So yeah, okay, so usually now I'm kind of ready to start doing my brows. So I have a brush like this. This one is from Colourpop, and I will link it down below. For my brows, this is the bee's knees. So let me zoom you in. So what I do first is, you can see how sparse my brows are, right? So I kind of brush them through a little bit, and because I do my foundation first, I kind of need to brush out a little bit of the foundation, especially here in the front, because I'm just messy. Now after this I can use two products. So I can use this one from NYX, the glue. So how do I use this? I just brush this through my brows, let it set, and then fill in my brows. But I want to show you today how I use this one, or the equivalent of a brow jam or a brow soap, because it's kind of the same how I use it. So it looks nasty. So this is what it looks like, and I have my brush, right? I usually spray it a bit. I need a new setting spray. So you can basically spray the brush, but you can also spray into the tub, which I actually did. And then I usually kind of let it settle a little bit, but I don't need it. It shouldn't be too wet, so it should be moist. And then I just, make sure that basically the spoolie has some product on it, not too much. And again, it shouldn't be too wet, and I made it a little bit too wet, which is kind of a shame right now. So let's see what happens. So what I do now is I just brush through kind of the first layer to really see how much product I have on the brush, but you want to coat the hair. So now that they're kind of getting perky, So I will just go with a little bit more. And again, usually I have it drier than this. So I really need to let this dry, because I cannot really tell how I did right now. It's the reason that I'm doing this step now. So now it's time to basically, usually I clean the brush a little bit and let it set. Okay, brush is clean, and what I can do is still have a little bit of foundation. I can kind of go a little bit underneath just to make sure that the foundation is there and that it is not red. Because I am an olive, I do have redness in my skin, and that's just the nature that it is. But if my foundation isn't high enough, wow, and I put a brow product in, especially if the brow product is a hint too red, you can really tell the difference. So then my brows get red. So that's why I really want to make sure that either the concealer or a concealer, an olive concealer, or my foundation nicely, you know, I don't know, hugs my brows. I don't want to carve them out, but I want everything to flow a little bit better. Again, basically I let it set and then I go on to cream products. So I'm going to zoom you out a tad. No, it's the wrong one. Like so you can at least enjoy the complete face. That is me. I don't have that here, I have that here. Let's go to cream bronzer. And the cream bronzer I use is from Glam Shop because I like the color on me the best. I also like the one from ABH, but it is very warm. It's very yellow. So I think I will use that one more in summer because it's a little bit more, it shows up a bit better. This one is pretty sheer, and for me it's a pretty subtle bronzer, which I like, especially in winter. And before I forget to mention, I also upgraded, or I have new member tiers. So we have 3 tiers now instead of just 1. And down below is a link where you can check the memberships and yeah, where you can change the tiers. I did post already on the community tab or the members tab how to upgrade your membership if you want to, how to do that. Yeah. Okay, so it is set. So what I do now is I'm going to go to my pencil. The pencil I use right now, it's a micro pencil. This one is from MUA because it's a gray one. I haven't done my makeup in a few days, so I kind of have to warm it up, but this is the color. If I have my my own hair color, and then I just fill it in, basically. So I can zoom you back in again, but I basically just fill it in. If I have my own color, I usually use the NYX brow pen, the Lift and Snatch, but if I'm gray, I don't really need it. And I basically sketch out my brows a little bit as well, so basically I make them a little bit thicker. And then pray that they are in the same, at least in the same family. Sometimes they're not even in the same country, but that's okay. And the brushing through that I kind of do now is more to distribute the color a little bit better, because my brows are not going anywhere now. So this is basically my brow routine. That is it. And if I feel like I need, let me zoom you out a bit. If I feel like I need a little bit more staying power, I can also always put in a little bit of the glue. You know? Okay. Do I need to? No, I think I did. Wow, I did well. Always have to do that on both sides, right? Because otherwise you go crooked. But yeah, the one that I use right now is from Pink Honey UK. You can get Pink Honey on their site in the UK, but you can also buy her brand at Beauty Bay right now. And I will link it down below. Let's go next to the pawpaw. The pawpaw stuff. Pawpaw. Okay. So how do I use products like this? I always put it on my hand first. So let's put it on the hand. Oh, that's a thick product. I don't know if I like that, but that's why I kind of smeared it out. And then I tap with my finger so I can kind of gauge how much I have. So let's just tap it. I never put a product like this directly on my face and then tap it out. I don't do that with any of my cream products. I'm just tapping it on. And because I have basically rosacea here, naturally, you always kind of see that peeking through. So that's what I place my blush on top of. So I basically use that, give a flush to my face because it's already there. Let's do it here as well. Because I can. Do I like it? I don't know. I don't think so, but we will fix it in a bit. So it looks nice. I don't know if it will dry down. I also don't really know what will happen if I powder it, because usually I powder this foundation, but we shall see. Let's kind of do this a bit. Okay. Well, we can also do a bit on the lips, right? So I still have a bit on my hand. But yeah, honestly, if this is a balm, it will probably not dry down. I really smell of anything, which is good. So I also have the shimmer I do like the color, by the way. I think that the color is very, very pretty. So let's go then to the shimmer balm. Also lips, cheeks and body, that's what they say. Well, I'm not fancy enough for that. Okay, so this is also a little bit of a thicker one. So here this one is, can you see? Okay, so I have smeared it out, so that's, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a shine. So let's put it there. It gives my face a wet look. And I think it's very, very pretty. Wow. This looks very, very pretty. Now I'm actually quite curious to see how it did, what it did with my foundation. So let me check. Okay. So I feel that it did not really disturb the foundation underneath. I don't know if you can see it though. Let me zoom you in all the way again. I don't know, can you see that? What it is doing? Maybe you can see it a bit better now. I don't feel like it disturbed a lot. I don't know what it will do on top of a formula that is that dries quicker than this one. So for instance the Lisa Eldridge one, but I will try. But so far I think it looks very pretty. I kind of want to see what it does when I powder it. So what's the powder I will try today? Unfortunately I don't have her powder in Fair. Why are you stuck? Okay, so I will just use the Glam Show powder because it works well with this foundation, and there's only one ingredient in here, and that's silica. So let me powder one side and see what happens. I can instantly see it mattifying. I do still see the blush though, but yeah, I have powdered one side and then I'm going to powder the other. Okay, so my face is set. We will see. I do feel that I can see the shimmer of the product, but I do feel that I lost a little bit of the luminosity, which isn't weird, right? Because if stuff is wet, it looks wet. So let's just let it sit for a bit. That rhymes. Do I still have a little bit left in my Natasha Denona? It's almost out and it's so sad. Yeah, I had something in mind. I'm going to focus largely on this palette because I really want to use this shimmer because it's stunning. So I'm going to do green, where are we? Green basically in the outer part, and probably maybe purple and pink underneath, kinda, something like that, I think at least. We're just going to do it, and I think I'm going to start with the neon green because I want the focus to kind of be on that. I want a big fluffy brush in the beginning, so that I can kind of, let me zoom you in a little bit more, so that I can kind of make a gradient with it. Okay, it does not really show up. I think the brush is too flimsy. Okay, let's grab a denser brush then, that's okay. Now usually neons are, you place them and you leave them alone. That's what they advise with neons, that's better. Now in my experience, there certainly are neons that you can kind of blend a bit. So I'm just going to focus on the top edge. And I do have to say that neons and pastels both benefit from a primer that is not set. And I'm so glad that I finally have the time to try this one, because I have heard nothing but good things about her formula, and I have been so curious. But the trouble is, if you are on a PR list from a brand in the USA, if they don't send out PR earlier to the international customers than they do to the PR people who are in the USA, or even their regular customers, sometimes it's just not possible, because if stuff gets in late, stuff gets in late. But the downside is that it can take ages to ship to me. That is just the downside. So now I'm going to, this was the shade Moonball Grapes, which was this one. Now I'm going to go to this one, which is called, can I read that? Honeydew. And I'm going to deepen it up. And as I usually do, I'm going to do my bottom lid up. So I'm going to grab a brush that is flat, like this one from Sigma, like that, you know. And then I'm just going to look forward with my eyes relaxed, and I'm going to stamp it there, because there I can basically follow my eyelid up and then I go in. The folds that I have, we are going to ignore, because now you see that it is kind of nice, and when I see this, you can see the skipping, right? We're just going to ignore that. We're just going to, and then turn the brush a little bit like that, so that it is like this instead of that. I don't know how to call it, but I hope you can see. And then just, you know, pull it into the crease. A little bit more. Now I'm looking down, because I'm basically just following my eyeball right now. I do feel that this brush in particular almost does not really want to pick up the shadow, which can happen sometimes. Also on my lid. Okay, and I will place first and blend in a minute. So again, relax the eyes, stamp it on, wiggle a bit if you need to, and then just push your brush up, turn it. And if you have hooded eyes, because mine are deep set, and hooded a little because I'm older, just draw where you want your crease to be. So where you want the darkest part of your eye, the depth, you will just draw this. So if you have hooded eyes, ignore the fact that that you can see that my lid pushes back, but do what I do. But just ignore the 3D part, make it flat. Does that make any sense? So basically I am just drawing where I want my crease to be, and it does not matter if it is then on my lid as well, because I can always clean that up. And then I'm lifting my eyebrow so I can finish making the crease. I'm kind of cleaning my brush a little, and then I'm going to go over the edge, and I will probably pull in a little bit of that neony green to help blend it a bit. I like blended looks, that is why I do the looks that I do. And because I don't want the green up, the darker green up really a lot higher than this, I do windshield wiper motions instead of circles, because I just want to blend on that edge. Now I'm going to go back to the brush that I used with the shade Moonball Grapes, and I'm going to reapply that green. I'm just going to go over it, and now I'm kind of doing circles a little bit because it's a lighter shade, and then we can kind of get that, and that's what I want. Now we're going to go to the lower lash line. I'm going to grab a bit of Honeydew, which is the green. Next I'm going to go to the shade called Plum. I am going to spray it, and that way I don't create a lot of fallout. I have a little bit more control. I make also the shadow a little bit intenser. And my spray is almost empty, so that's a little bit annoying. I'm going to go to the pink called Peach. Very, very nice. Okay, what I want to do is I kind of want to do a cut crease effect. So with the shimmer. So what I'm going to do is I have here an eye primer from Catrice. This is how it looks. It's a pretty thin one, but I love to use this for cut creases because it is so thin and it has a very long stick to it. But you can also use a concealer if you want to. I don't know if it is available internationally, but I know it's available in Europe. So I just put a little bit on the back of my hand, and I also love to use this for matte cut creases especially. And I'm just going to clean up my lid, or basically place it, and then while looking down I am going to follow my eyeball. I'm just brushing it back. So when you're doing a cut crease with a concealer, you can basically put a little bit here and then look up, you know, but I find that too high. So I prefer to just use my mobile lid for this. I do have to clean my brush off in between because I don't want the green to transfer. And I just have a towel here that I use. And then I pick up a little bit more. You can also do this with a glitter primer. I just found that this primer, because it's an eye primer, it works better for me. And then just with a glitter, you know, cut crease, this is what you do. So basically now it's clean. Kind of do want it a little bit more there. Oh, no. Basically, you can do this with any primer that you have, any eye primer, any glitter primer, whatever you want. And if you feel like you messed up because you went too high, you can always put a little bit of eyeshadow back. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the shade called Chico. Now this is I'm learning about multi-chromes and duochromes and all that. And this is I think an iridescent. I don't know, but it has it's a very, very light one. So it's a very, very sparkly, very light, and you can play with this by putting it on top of different bases, but I want to put it just on my lid itself. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to tap this on that primer. And it's going to give me kind of a wet look. And a hint of pink. Like that. So I'm just going to tap it on. It feels very, very smooth. Picks up on my brush nicely. I'm very, very impressed by this. I'm going to go to the Juicy Skewer, the other one. I'm going to put that one, I think, in the inner corner and maybe there, because I want to try that one as well. Where's the brush that I want to use? Yeah. The shade Strawberry. It's dry. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I did not see that coming. That's so pretty. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit in the inner corner. Lightly, the shade Strawberry, and then I want that other shade on top. Okay, I do want to use the green shimmer of this palette as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the same brush I just used and I'm going to go to the shade Kiwi. I'm going to tap it off. I'm going to put that in the outer corner. I actually love a shimmery outer corner. Oh, and this is dry. Oh my lord, this is dry. Wow. Going to go back to the shade Chico. A hint of the green Kiwi. I'm just brushing it on the outer corner. And then I'm grabbing the shade Chico. It's going to go in the center. This is Milky Pink or something from Glam Shop. I finished off the look with half lashes from Vive to give the nice flare effect, you know. Lippy is from, well, it's a combination. I put on a lip liner from Colourpop in the shade BFF. Yes, this one. And then a liquid lipstick from Lethal in the shade Departure. And one of their glosses in the shade Everything. Because I kind of wanted the pinky to help here. You know, I really, really like how it looked. What I also did is, you saw me reapply the Popo a little bit on my cheek. I also grabbed a little bit more of the glossy one to tap over the high point. So let's just, you know, start with my thoughts on the Dr. Popo. I like them. I don't know how they will wear, but on first application I kind of like it. I like the fact that it's a squeezy tube. When I applied it, it was that kind of that balm-like consistency. I didn't feel like it messed up my foundation. I do feel that I want to not powder this, or at least not powder this with the Glam Shop powder, because you saw what happened, it was instant matte. I can set it with a blush or with a highlighter if I want to, but I kind of want to keep on trying these out to see what I think of them. I do think that they are pretty. I think that if you like a natural flush, then this can be a product for you definitely, because you can use it on your cheeks and on your lips, you know. I like the way that it looked before I powdered. I do like the look that it has now. It's just not as, well, wet looking, which isn't weird because I powdered it, you know. So, but I'm going to try these out more, and I will let you know how I feel about them probably next month. Let's go to the eyeshadow palette. Yeah, wow. I get why people are raving about this. The neon green, it's still on my face. Usually greens like this, they tend to either go yellow on me, which it kind of does a little bit on the top, but that's okay. It kind of helps with the blend, you know. But my face tends to eat up these shades very, very quickly because I am an olive, I think. But it's still on. The blend is gorgeous. The shimmers are stunning. Yeah. what can I say? And I really want to try this one out as well. The other two I actually gifted to someone else because it wasn't the color stories that I was really gravitating towards. I have a discount code with her. I will leave it down below. Very, very, very nice. So if you want to see this one in action, let me know. And that kind of ties in with my new membership tiers, because let me explain a little bit. I have the nestling, that is the tier that I always had, where you basically get your own emojis and, you know, colored raven behind your name, special membership videos once a month, and that's the thing. Then the next tier is fledgling, where you get basically, my channel is growing and it's harder and harder to keep up with comments and to comment or reply on every comment, and I always try to do that. But if you are a fledgling, that's what you pay for. So you get everything from nestling as well, and you have the assurance that I will always comment on your, or always reply on your comment. And then the newer one, or the one after that, which is cave dweller, so you can come and live in my orcish cave with me, you get to pick the videos of the month. So if you know, the member video of the month, you get to pick if you want me to do a specific technique, if you want me to do, I don't know, a Q&A or a live or a specific palette or specific tutorial. If you are a cave dweller, that's what you can pick from. And if there are different things, then I will kind of group them together, and then the one that gets the most votes or that I find the nicest, that's the one that will end up being the member only video. But yeah, so that's kind of the tiers. So yeah, if you are if you want to see this one in action, let me know. Let me know. So yeah, and I think that was it. I will leave everything down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comment section below. I am going to wish you a fantastic day, a fabulous evening. May your foundation always match your neck, and I will see you very, very soon for my next one. Bye guys.